What's going on? What's going on? How everybody doing tonight? Um, we in here. This is Breaking the Mental Chain with William Dickens. Um, Tonight we're gonna talk about, as you see the name of the show, relationships, politics, and being a bottom caste group. And I think this is something very important to talk about, to have a real strong discussion about. Because I don't think we really think about it as more ADOS people become more political aware and get more surrounded with seeing things through the eyes of where we are in this country as a bottom caste group. We built the country, and we need to understand what that means. Another thing I think we don't pay enough attention to when we say we built the country. I think we kind of skim over when we say we built the country. What I'm saying is, an ADOS man that had field experience, his body was worth more than a home is today in 2021. So understand that the ADOS man and the ADOS woman and the ADOS child, the body was the currency of America. The currency, meaning the dollar in your pocket. Your ancestors was that to America. So I need us to understand, when you don't got that dollar in your pocket, to understand you come from the group that was that dollar. That they could take your ancestor to the bank and say, look, I got these two Negroes and I want to borrow, $3, $5, $6,000. And they could get it. Your ancestors' body was the credit line for white people that own them. So we got to come to terms. How do a group, think about it, a group that built the richest nation in the world becomes a bottom caste? And yet our kids today, we are galvanizing them to run a race that they started almost 300 years behind in. And somehow we think they're going to get in front in that race. It's impossible. You can't get in front in that race. The data shows that even if whites stop making money right now, meaning they stop making money, they own 90% of everything. That's the first thing you need to know. But let's say they just stop making money. They are saying it's for the next 200 years, they didn't make another dime. We still couldn't catch up. So I don't know how we telling our kids how smart they is if you can't do basic math to understand when you're too far behind to catch up. How do we say that is genius? That's impossible. So you got to go back to that cornerstone, and you got to understand those who start late, those who start last, finish last. Those who start late, finish late. That's just how it goes. So when we speak of reparations, I want people to get a different understanding. Because if Jay-Z didn't accomplish it, Oprah Winfrey didn't accomplish it. See, because what you don't realize is that when you're thinking about wealth in America, we look at these billionaires, these ADOS billionaires, and we want to say, well, he did it. Well, did he really do it? Well, let's think about it. Mike Bloomberg gives to some of these white private colleges. Jay-Z is worth $1.4 billion, they saying. But Mike Bloomberg, one white man, gave away to a private college, an elite white college. He gave the college $1.6 billion. So he basically gave away what Jay-Z worth. So do we really understand what real wealth is? I don't think we do. Because if we did, we would know how endear this fight, how we need all hands on deck. I know a lot of you sat around today, you watched a football game. Is it going to pay your light bill? Is it going to help send your child to college? Matter of fact, is it going to put gas in your car tomorrow to get to work? Or for the rest of the week? You see, that And let's like in the chat, somebody said that's Jay-Z and Beyonce worth that together. You see? So one white man gave away more money than they worth. Now we gotta remember net worth and what you liquid money is two different things and not the same thing. We gotta remember that too. So when you see that 1.4 billion net worth, that means they might have 200 or 300 million sitting in the bank. But that still makes them at the mercy of white capital. What do I mean? Most of their money is embedded in owning things that in percentage of what white people own. So they're just somebody got a little money in it. They don't really own it. So we got to be able to see this thing. So tonight, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a hard dive and I like having controversial conversations. Because I think we got to look at these things for what they are. So the thing I'm gonna point out is how politics looks in relationships. For us, when we talk about interracial relationships, when we talk about LGBTQ relationships, when we talk about family relationship, remember everything is a relationship. Mama to son relationship, daddy to son relationship, mama to daughter relationship, daddy to daughter relationship. Everything is relationships. And I think what we're gonna do here tonight, we're gonna look at some data around relationships, how powerful politics play a role in it. Because I think everybody wakes up at a different point in this fight where we start to understand what we really talking about. And the reason I named it a bottom caste, because a bottom caste got a totally different fight than people that's at the top of it or even in the middle of it. So where they can be a little more relaxed and say, well, it's okay if you like Joe Biden or you like Trump. Because, I mean, my pocket's straight and I come from a group that got $125 trillion, like the white group, you know. But your group is ADOS. We have fallen off a cliff economically. We are flatline when you look at wealth. They saying because of the pandemic, our race to being at zero wealth has speed up. That it could be happening a lot sooner than it was happening. So, we got to start looking at everything through the eyes of politics without a shadow of a doubt about it. So, especially when your group is stalled out, we got to start, instead of I think we got to even get to the point where our kids, we got to get to this point where even with our kids, instead of pushing them to worry about how to shoot a basketball or how to run a football, teach them how to read legislation, policies, and to pick out what's good and bad. What I would love for my kids be able to do is me to hand them a bill, right? And say, go through the bill and tell me, is it a good one or a bad one? If it's bad, tell me what's bad in it. Then you'll say you got some good kids. You got some smart kids. Because then they are getting to the state where they can dissect all the manipulation. Because shooting a basketball, running a football, ain't going to do none of that. They're going to always get it wrong. And they still ain't going to bring their group up out of the oppression that we are dealing with. Now, this first article I'm going to go over it's talking about interrelational couples. And the one thing I'm going to show you before I show you, I'm going to share this Federal Reserve data on disparities in wealth. Hold on 1 minute. Let me go in here and get it. Let's see here. Here we go. All right. So this is the data of our group. And this data shows where we at in this country. We at the bottom. This is what I mean when I say a bottom caste. We are a bottom caste. And I don't care what rapper you listen to, what Steve Harvey say, Tyler Perry say, it doesn't matter. All that matters is what the Federal Reserve, the feds know who got this money and who don't got it. And they saying blacks don't got it. We don't care about your Tyler Perry or your Oprah Winfrey. We don't care about that. we know that this group is flatline when it comes to this money. And it ain't no people of color. We can see right here. We the bottom cast in this country. So when you're looking at this, you got to understand this is going to play a role in relationships. So what I mean now, what I'm going to go here, I'm going to share this with you. Because we got what ADOS like to do. We like to get to this data. We don't speak from no emotional place. What we are trying to do is get you to see how all of this stuff plays out in our relationships. Here's an article here, and you can read this article anywhere you want to. For interracial couples, advocating is a love language. Now, and even it's something else I want to touch on, because right at the top of this article, because I'm gonna talk about this tonight too, feminists. As you see at the top of this article right here, what it says is listening and learning, investing $10 billion to impact black women. Black women. Understand these people. I've said many times before on my show, if they can trick you, they can trap you. And I don't care what you trying to say. If you don't get that's right here in this article that they are pulling a con already out the gate. Before we even get to that, forget the interracial couple thing right now. We're gonna touch on this feminist thing. Because right here, have anybody heard any black women outraged about them saying Goldman Sachs talking about giving black women $10 billion to impact black women? As if black women ain't connected with black sons, black brothers. Let me take that back. As if ADOS women, American descendant of slavery women, ain't connected to black sons, ADOS brothers, ADOS uncles, ADOS daddies. You can't separate this group. No different than you can't separate the white. White women make white men. White men help make white women. They connected. No separate. I don't know how we got to a place where they can pull a wool over our eyes and think somehow they can separate us. And the trick, be able to trick black women, not even to consider that, hey, the only reason I'm a black woman is because of my black father. I couldn't be one. I wouldn't even exist as one if it weren't for him. So we got to see this. But it's no outrage about them doing this. And we know this a prime plot to separate. It's the war. We in war, right? So if we're in war, war is about divide and conquer. This is a method of divide and conquer. Period. And I don't care what nobody say. See? That's what that is. It's a lot of, I keep saying, there's a lot of tools they got. A lot of tools in their arsenal to divide and conquer us. Why? Because we're a bottom caste group. They understand they can throw pennies and start separating us. They understand that they can blow our heads up, men, ADOS men, and ADOS women. Because I get this divide and conquer conversation from ADOS men and ADOS women. Even though the organization ADOS know we are one. We know you can't separate us. And the ADOS woman and the ADOS movement and the ADOS man know that. The key we trying to teach our people to understand you can't separate us. The ADOS woman is planted at the bottom, so is the ADOS man. The ADOS man worked alongside that ADOS woman doing slavery. That ADOS man got beat, the ADOS woman got beat. The ADOS child got beat. The ADOS little boy got beat. The ADOS little girl got beat. We have not experienced anything different in this country. That's why we got to stand united. A lot of times it make me think about Planet of the Apes. In the movie, Caesar shows a stick. He break one single stick very easily. But he put many together and say, together we are stronger. We are stronger. That's what we got to understand here in this fight. Together we are stronger, not separated. It's the same scenario if you start to think about different organizations. Now, ADOS, we stay in a lot of different organizations trying to educate our people on how to move as one, because we are a scattered group without no doubt about it. Because too many of us think, hey, I got the best idea, what I'm trying to do. But yet, you set these people down and say, what is your idea? What is your plan? How do you plan to execute it? And will it directly impact ADOS families? And you will get a lot of time, no, well, or you will hear something right out of the ADOS advocacy page, and they'll act as if they didn't read it. See, I think we got to get real. It's a group ADOS has moved the line, without a shadow of a doubt. We moved the line. We made reparation the discussion, like it or not. With Tone and Yvette, they opened the conversation up. It ain't saying there ain't been nobody before them. It's saying, I don't care how far you go back, you will not see this much heat under reparation until this movement. And the people that splintered off from it, that did they thing, you will understand, you will still think they ADOS because they still talking and moving just like ADOS. They're just using different handles now. See, to me, that's one of our mental problems. We could listen to white men talk. We could do what they say do. And we follow the orders. But if the orders start to come from someone that looks like you, it's almost as if a self-hate take over. And Malcolm said it best, who taught you to hate your damn self? Now, I know that to be true because I'm watching it every day. People will go to the ADOS Advocacy Foundation page. They will read over that black agenda and say, I agree with everything. Well, if you agree with everything, why in the hell you just don't fall in line and keep pushing? We got to know when we're talking out of both sides of our mouth. Every institution in America, the very job that you go to day in and day out, it comes with a leadership setup. That's the only way to do something. So for anybody to tell you that they don't agree with a leadership setup, you must agree with chaos. So I think we gotta be able to understand it, and chaos don't get anything done. It just mudders the water. So it's just like here with what Johnny's saying here. Feminism is a friend to the black woman or the black family unit. It sure ain't. It's no friend. There's no friend to it at all. And we got to be able to understand it. We got to be able to understand it. We must know when people are stroking our ego, trying to lead us in the wrong way, and we must resist it. We must understand we can't move by emotion. I was on a other day. I was on a website, and the young lady said to me, "Listen, you can't tell somebody how to feel." I said, "You're exactly right. I ain't trying to tell somebody how to feel. I'm trying to tell them how to fight. Because understand, what we fight for is bigger than a bad relationship that you have been in. This fight is not about some ADOS man that may have done you wrong. And for the ADOS man, it ain't about some ADOS woman that may have done you wrong. This is about the survival of our bloodline, damn it. It ain't about no relationship. And if you don't understand that, you ain't paying attention to what's going on around you. You ain't paying attention. If you hooked on some relationship, we talking about the survival of our bloodline, our lineage. Not a relationship, not a bad relationship you've been in, baby. We ain't talking about that. That's why I try to tell the young lady, you got to use the data and the policies and the history and our lineage to have this discussion. Is it really the divide between black men and black women? If it is, it shouldn't be, because we both are at the same place on the chessboard. we're chess piece. So the key to this fight is to become the chess player and remove ourselves from being the piece. That's what we got to do. And that's what ADOS is here to do. Yeah. These are the things that I need my people to understand. So now we're going to go down to the interrelation couples. In this article, and you can read this article on your own time, I'm gonna go, I read it, I'm gonna just go through it and tell you some of the things, some of the couples these people interviewed. And then I'm gonna give you some data behind this. Because I feel as ADOS people become more politically educated, it's gonna play a very strong role in our relationships, without a shadow of a doubt, because we're a bottom caste group. That means we have no time to play with nobody. You're going to have to be on code with me in this fight, because this is our very survival. Just what it is. So in this article, it talks about an ADOS woman that is in a relationship with a white male. And well, vice versa. It was an ADOS man in a relationship with a white woman. One of the couples in here. And something was said to him that was racist. And she didn't say nothing about it because she really didn't think it was racist. But he was hurt because she didn't say nothing when he said something. They got back home and he brought it up. And the thing she said, she didn't really think about it like that, because she was white. She had heard that plenty of times before, never thought about it, what she had said to him. But she said she would get better about it. The next couple, well, that couple there even had a political different opinion on politics. And what I understood from this article was, I've always said, I think when you get these different relationships going, somebody gonna have to be politically dumb. And one may be politically educated and understand, because I seriously feel that if both people understand what is at stake when it comes to our survival here, I know without a shadow of a doubt, in this article is saying it's been a divorce rate spike due to political differences. You see what I'm saying? Because of political differences, people are saying, "Hey, wait a minute, yo, this article don't point as much so, but this article points at how these interrelationships, how it affect families, and how it affect the two that's married." So when you start looking at the political side of it, I'm gonna share this article right here. Like I said, you can go back and look these articles up, because they giving data. It's showing a major increase of divorces of interrelational couples because of their different views when it comes to politics. And they said the major increase happened under Donald Trump. It became inevitable. It went a very high spike did. Let me share this with you. Let me try this. Hold on. Hold on, fam. I'm trying to get to it. Here we go. Here we go. Right here. So this here, let me stroll back up to the top of it. This article gave up a lot of more data when it comes to these relationships, and basically it's talking about love, colorblind, politically orientation, interracial romantic desires. This article shows where a lot of people, due to their political views, have ended in divorces or breakups. So a lot of time people kind of shy around this topic. I don't want to shy around it, because I believe it's gonna become more evident down the line that people are gonna be if this politics is gonna become a discussion because you're gonna need this person to be your support and help you in your fight because things ain't getting better here for us. It's getting worse. 1921, almost 19 million acres of land that the descendants of American descendants of slaves had, and it's 100 years later. Now we got less than a million. So we going backwards, and without a shadow of a doubt, I think the more our people become politically educated, the more we're gonna understand what is really happening around us. And once we understand that, we're gonna have to put pressure on everything. Now, a lot of us as ADOS also know we talking about relationships here. But I got an article right here. It goes even further. It just not only talk about in relationships, but families, where you got families that they stop talking to one another when it comes to this to these relationships. This article here, it gives out some data on a lot of these divorces that's happening in the group in these different relationship groups. We go down here. Let's see. I want to go right here. I want to show a data short. Where you at? Hold on. I'm trying to find it right there. So we look at this chart. It talks like a lot of millenniums. So it's saying it's a trend being set, and it's showing that these relationships or a lot of breakups are happening within the millennium. So it's saying the way people are seeing politics is starting to bleed over into relationships. Where one time people bleed, because the article talks about it being a time where people believe those differences didn't really matter. That you can still be together and have political differences in your views. But I think due to the ADOS group suffering so bad, I think it's gonna dominantly impact us too. Because if it's happening at the top end where they got the money, we know it's gonna happen within our group. This is just the way things is. And I don't care what you choose to be in your relationship. I think I listened to some brothers talk the other night. And even though they was LBGQ, they too was like, you got to stand with me, period. So I think even once we understand that your gender ain't where the target is at, and you start to understand that it's your lineage, that it overrides everything. And that's coming from brothers that felt that, hey, my gender has nothing to do with it. Because understand, I don't care how much the media tries to drag ADOS black men as being homophobic. Hey, we fight for our family at any cost. We don't care. I have cousins that are LBGQ, but you ain't going to do nothing to my cousin. That's still my cousin at the end of the day. Just what it is. You see? So we understand this lineage thing is what it is. The injustice we have endured in this country never came from our gender. And we understand that. I think what we gotta become better at as a group is understanding all these weapons. All the different weapons they use against us. And we gotta understand Pan-Africanism is dead. We got to be able to see this without a shadow of a doubt that it's dead too. Because that's another thing. Let me start sharing this here. That's another thing I want my people to understand. We got to find love in our own ancestors that their bones are right here in America. Their bones are right here. You can go to the graveyards and find them. They right here. And we must know that. And we must honor our ancestors. Every chance you get, honor your ancestors. Because if anybody sacrificed for you, it was them. If you're going to show me a cross, You show me a cross with my people on it, because my people done been on everything. From trees, hanging out of trees, to getting blown up in churches, to getting hung in back swamps, burned alive. My people are the sacrifice. My ancestors sacrificed for me to sit here and be able to deliver this message. To be able to stand for my group still and fight in the same battles they had to fight in. They give me the power to do it. Without a shadow of a doubt, without them, it wouldn't be. They done it all. My dad, he laid his life on the line many nights trying to protect us from white supremacy and the dirt they wanted to do. You see? I want to touch on something here in the chat. I went over it because I got caught up in my ancestors, but as this chat message saying, Lynn is the most constant thing in our life. That's what it is. This is the thing that ties us together. And what makes us a monolith is our wealth positioning. We at the bottom across the board. And we must get away from this do for self way of thinking. Our stories are here, our bones are buried here. It's time to fight for here. It's time to stop saying that you're African, you're ADOS, you're American descendant of slaves. How do we allow other people to come in our country, right? From other countries. I don't care if it's Irish. They call themselves Irish American. I don't care if it's Jamaica. They call themselves Jamaican American. Yet we the group that sits back and say, I'm not American. But we built everything that everybody coming here to benefit from. If you believe that, I'm going to tell you this. And don't never forget it. I listened to a speech the other day. And I listened to things just to see what I do with it is go back then and I bring it up to current time. I don't stay stuck in 1960s. Some of y'all stay stuck in 1960. And that's your problem. See, I done listened to the Farrakhan people still repeating, they remaking what Malcolm X said in 1960. That don't work no more. What Malcolm was talking about then, man, white people got $125 trillion now. We only got 5.9. 40% of it in the hands of baby boomers in their pensions. Meaning it's not accessible. Meaning when they die, that money going with them and their dead body. It's not inherited that's going to get passed down. Period. We living in a different time. If you still stuck in 1960, hey, you can't have a conversation with me. Because, see, you stuck somewhere that no longer exists. You still talking about doing blackouts. How many of us listen to these idiots? Still talking about a blackout. When the truth is the economy no longer needs your black dollars. They don't even need it no more. They got it all. You locked out and you don't even know you locked out. You thinking your pennies controlling this economy. It's not. It's not controlling it no more. See, the key to me listening to my ancestors when I go back is to connect the dots to current time and see where it's changed at. To see what's different from when Malcolm X was saying what he was saying. That he said it, we're not American. See? But see, I'm living in an era that Malcolm didn't know about. I live in an era that Malcolm did not get to see and witness to what this country done turned into. But I can see it. And I got information that even Malcolm X did not have access to. So how am I still stuck on what Malcolm said? I got to critique Malcolm. Now, if I ain't critiquing Malcolm, I don't know anything. If I ain't critiquing Martin Luther King, I don't know anything. See, I'm now And if I say it many times and I keep saying it, if you ain't growing mentally, you're standing still physically. Give a damn how old you get. If your brain stop working, your brain stop working. But you can always start it back. You just got to be willing to take in information. That's how the brain works. It's supposed to take in information like a sponge, and you're supposed to process it. See, if you ain't taking in information and processing it, it's something going wrong. So we got to be able to understand that. So even if you want to, because I'm sure plenty of my ADOS family out there have these conversations. And these conversations, a lot of time, people they say they want to know the truth. They want to know the truth. And you give them the truth and they'll tell you right quick, I don't want to hear it. I don't believe it. How? You didn't even know what was going on. Just like it's a lot of people out there don't even know. They trying to get, while you tell ADOS we ain't getting reparations, they trying to give illegal immigrants reparations. They broke the law to come in this country, and now they trying to sit down behind closed doors to give them reparations. While we still trying to get y'all to understand that we are owed reparations. They are not. They broke the law. As Vino says, these people want to do the same thing they always done and get the same thing and same thing they've always got. ADOS on the same news, and I'm with it. Hey, Vino, what Vino just said there. What we are telling you is you basically when you do the same thing over and over and look for a different outcome, they call it insanity. If you don't know that definition, go look it up. See, because if you could constantly trying to do the same thing and saying, I'm going to get a different outcome this time. How? Because 1 plus 1 is 2, baby. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. That's the data. And no matter which way you do it, you're going to get it. The same outcome. The only way to get a different outcome is to do something different. And if that difference don't work, it means you go back to the drawing board and you come up with another ideal. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's insanity. That's what they call insanity. It's all day long. And I don't care. Listen, when it comes to what I'm trying to do for my people, I don't care if a pastor come up and try to tell me something different. Like, son, listen. Jesus fight my battle, and God is my sword. That's good and dandy, Pastor. But I'm going to tell you right now, you show me a war in the history of mankind to where man won't fight man. You can't show me one. Show me a war where man was on the battlefield without weapons, guns, swords, shields, horses, where they was on the field with a battle. Or Quran. Show me that war. Somebody show me that war. See, you ain't gonna never find a war in mankind to where it won't weapons being used to defeat the other group of men that men was going against. Just what it was. Just like here. They don't know the wealth data nor how these corporations are structured to withstand disruption. That's what we got to get at. That's why I keep saying we got to become critical thinkers. Critical thinkers are going to win this war right here, baby. Critical thinkers that can get around all the weapons that white supremacists use against us. We're going to be the ones that win this war. We talked about this last night where we got some blacks that want to be tough. They tough. Oh, I take a gun. You need to get a gun. You need to get tough, get a gun. I shoot. I'm ready to go to war. Well, they be ready to go to war. But it seems like me, you wear soft shoes when you talking to white folks. Now, I don't know how you're going to be ready to go to war when you wear soft shoes when you talk to white folks. when you lose 3 inches from your height when you talk to white folk, because you bend your back when you talk to them. You can't stand up straight like a man, but you want me to believe that you ready for war. I got to drink some water off that, because I know that coward ain't ready for war. See, it's some people in this fight that's ready for war. That's why we fighting politically, because we know that's where the wealth is constantly redistributed all the time in America. The wealth is redistributed all the time in America. It's all the time. The government right now while I'm talking to you, they writing bills or plotting to redistribute wealth right now to illegal immigrants. And we standing by like idiots because we've been watching the football game all day. We've been watching the football game. Now, if I ask you something about how many yards such and such you got, you'll know his stacks to a T. You'll know for a fact what the hey man, what my runs is, man. Did I hit the board, man? I think I hit the board, man. See, distractions. I said it before. Distractions are deadlier than a gun. They deadlier than a gun. Because while you worrying about your stats, they stacking the deck against you. See, you over there worrying about a football stacks, but behind your back, they building a wall against you, your kids' future, to starve you out. But you worrying about a football game. And I'm gonna tell you another. You more into the football game. You hooked on that football game. You hooked on it. But yet, in 4 years, those Democrats gonna come and say, we need your vote. And I'll be having to argue with you about you don't understand who this person is. Because while you've been watching football games every season for 4 years, me and ADOS been keeping up with every credit bit they've been doing. We know exactly what they've been doing. You'll be arguing with us like you don't know what you're talking about. But you ain't been paying attention. So how now can you come to me and say, I don't know what I'm talking about? Baby, we as people in this movement right now, every single day, we researching articles, pulling up bills. We on top of everything that's going on from how they wiping us out in entertainment. And a lot of you Negroes sit around and look at TV all damn day long and don't even see that they pushing you out of that too. They pushing you out of that too. Because you ain't paying attention. The bodies are on or in the ground from the war that have happened. Which side was Jesus on? What side was he on? Because the body's in the ground. Whose side was he on? Listen, for 401 years, we have lived through some of the most evilest acts that can be formed against man. Our group, the American descendants of slaves, have lived through it. My question to you, if we have been the one taking all the punishment, and you tell me your Jesus fight your battles, I'm here to tell you, you and your Jesus getting your ass kicked. ADOS is saying it's going to take men to battle men to win this battle. Because all through history, that is, men have fought other men to win battles. That's just what it is. You ain't got to like it. You ain't got to like it. But I'm telling you what it is. And we got to get away from these crazy ways of thinking. Our the ADOS group, the way we deal with religion, we say money is the root of all evil. This is black people religion explained. Money is the root to all evil. Well, let me start with white folks. I would like to start with white folks because it's in real good on black folks. White folk religion explained. Praise the Lord, pass the ammunition. That's white folks. Black people religion explained. Money is the root to all evil, but ammunition costs money. Ammunition costs money. We right back to what we fighting for. Resources. Money brings you resources. In America, those with the wealth have access to resources. When you don't have the wealth, you don't have access to resources. See, that's why whites move so differently than we do. And we must be able to see how they move and accept how they move and say, now I know how I need to move for the battle which I'm in, whether I like it or not. Whether I like it or not, these folks better get serious about their survival. That's the truth. You better get serious about your survival, because that is what this conversation is about. See, we in a space where we don't understand this is about survival here. Not just for your lifetime, the lifetime of the kids coming behind you and your grandkids that you may not never get to meet. See, if you stand in front of me and tell me, well, my kids need to do the same thing I did, you a selfish bastard. You heard me? You a selfish bastard. You get the gold medal, bastard, for being a do for self. I don't give a damn what your age is. I don't care if you don't like. That's what it is. If you can sit and know what have happened to your people and yet not stand and say, no, my kids are not gonna have to deal with this, because I'm gonna fight them to my last breath, and I'm gonna educate my kids to do the same thing. See, our people are watching the waving right hands while the left is still in our wallet. Man, y'all better watch those distractions, man. One thing, Malcolm, what happened at Malcolm when he got shot? The guy hollered out, "Get your hands out my pocket." We got to get real with these conversations. We got to get real with how we move. This is okie doke all day long. And we are the group. You must be able to connect the dots in your relationships, in politics, and understand you come from a bottom caste. It doesn't matter what a rapper is telling you on TV. Understand money don't make you know how things are moving around you. That's another thing we got to break the mental chain on. Too many ADOS people think because a cat got some money that he knows something. It means nothing. Understand, if I grew up and I wanted to play football and I dedicated my life to playing football, that means I really never paid attention to the economics around me, because my fight was to be successful at football. Okay, I grew to be 6'8", 315 pounds. I get a scholarship in football. I go pro, whole 9 yards. And now it's things going on around me that I can't make heads or tails of, because I never cared about them, never paid attention to them. He ain't going to have the answer. And him having money ain't going to give him the answer. He going to have to step outside of his comfort zone and do some real leg work, reading work, and paying attention work, and listening work. Other than that, he just got money. And the truth is, he can be more dangerous than helpful. That's just the truth. Some people are wondering why ADOS pushed this break away from these other different groups, saying we don't want to be part of. Well, the problem with that is, what ADOS saw with it is that we know how white supremacy works. See, some of these people that a lot of people are following, the wild junk they say, who you think white supremacy gonna pull to be the spokesperson for ADOS people in this country? It ain't gonna be William Dickens, because, hey, William Dickens is talking about the right thing. You see what I'm saying? Yvette Cornell, Tony Moore, these people are talking about the right thing. Listen, we can't make them the spokesperson. Oh, we're going to get this monkey over here that's trying to sell his people a CD and some oil spray to keep the mosquitoes away. That's the Negro we want. And I wonder why they want it. Because they critical thinkers too. You think they ain't? Why you think Kaepernick said it was like a contraband with the draft? You better understand these people ain't dumb. They streaming the way we think. That's what they want to hear, how you talk the way you think, because they find out the way you thinking. Because then I know who I want in and who I'm not going to let in. It's period. We got to understand that. We act like whites ain't constantly plotting, chess making, putting you in check. They fighting too. They fighting too. See? They fighting against you too. They just stay behind the shadow. They are the master puppet players. They pull the strings. They pull the strings, baby. And sometimes those strings they pulling is in black face with black skin. I say it again. Sometimes those strings they are pulling is in black face and black skin. See, that's how you get Derek Johnson of the NAACP making a statement saying that case of Rennerhausen was just as bad as Emmett Till's. Things like, yet he do nothing to prevent another Emmett Till from happening. Monkey. Man, they tell us that, but they got all of our money. They got all the money. They tell us all kind of weird stuff. They send back pockets relaxed. Pockets relaxed. We don't know how we're going to pay our rent. We don't know if Hope program, when it's going to run out. We need our rent paid. Hope program running out places. We got to come to terms with real life events, because those real life events are going to affect us one way or another. And just tonight, I had a family member reach out to me. As normal, I done called this family member plenty of times just to check on them. You know, they don't really answer the phone when I call. Why? Because when I answer that phone, I'm finna shoot that fire to them. I'm finna shoot that fire to them about what's going on around. They don't want to hear that. What they want to do is what happened tonight. Out of the blue, I had a cousin call me, and I ain't heard from him in at least 2 months. But they called tonight. They called tonight. Why? They need a favor. We all on here know what the favor is. Yet, I'm asking, begging of you to get in this fight with me. Help me move this line forward, because I know how bad you got it already. That's why I'm doing these shows. That's why I stay hoarse 90% of the time, because I'm fighting for you when you ain't fighting for yourself. Matter of fact, I'm fighting for you when you're fighting against me. You heard? I'm fighting for you even when you're fighting against me. Because I'm sure it was plenty of people that witnessed that during this election with Joe Biden. We had family that was going against us because he locked up our cousin. He locked up your brother. You see? And we were saying, don't give the man your vote. Vote down ballot. Write ADOS at the top of the ticket. Fill in the circle. Down ballot Democrat. That's what we said do. Now, we don't hear a word from nobody. Facebook, Instagram, total silence. It's total damn silence right now about any politics. And the same people that wanted you to vote for Joe Biden, now they somewhere on a trip. They spending some money, getting their nails done. But the chaos is still going on. But give it time. Because when these elections come back around next year, those Negroes going to be out there trying to tell us what to do and what not to do. Ain't it something? Ain't it something? People that don't never pay attention, talking to the people that do pay attention. I never seen it before in my life. Is an incest folks, white supremacists will pick off first. That's exactly what they going to do. They going to always do that first. And you're exactly right. They want to borrow some money. But they don't never want to borrow no knowledge. Ain't that something? They always want to borrow money, but never want to borrow no knowledge. Never call to say, cuz, is there anything going on in this area that I can help do or get part of? Man, They never do it. Never do it. We must understand that everything I'm sitting on this show right now tonight telling you is gonna hit your ass. If it ain't, it's hitting you right now. But we know another thing in our group, that our group becomes very accustomed to finding a way to find comfort, get comfortable in their suffering. See, cause tonight I had one piece of bologna, I had to feed 7 people. But that was a blessing. Oh shit, they cut my leg off. I still got the other one. That's a blessing. All these weird ways of seeing shit gotta stop. It ain't no blessing when you can't feed your family. And another man, white folks got so much, they overfeeding theirs while you are underfeeding yours. The blessing is in their court, not yours. We better get a different understanding of what a blessing is and understand what a damn nightmare is. Because these ain't blessings. These are nightmares. The love of money is the root of all evil, but they got all the money black people need to understand. They use that Bible to justify slavery and keep us as dollars. That's powerful. That's exactly what they do with it. And we got to come to terms. They use it as a weapon. It's a weapon. You see? That part of don't get it. ADOS is fighting for us while some of our people are fighting against us. That's exactly what we deal with on the regular. Now, for all my ADOS people out there and families of other ADOS people, I'm sure you get a lot of feedback. But I say continue to push. Broken relationships can be fixed once the light be seen. So don't get discouraged as a family member stop talking to you. Just give it time. They'll be calling back. Because everything we are saying and fighting for is the truth. They are already dealing with it, already exposed to it. And if that pressure gets the building, we know pressure busts pipes. People will start to see the light. And they will start to understand that these things are needed. We need money for resources. Stop showing me symbolism with a black family having a good time on Instagram and Facebook and put under this sickness that this don't cost a thing. Have you lost your damn mind? How many households in real time is happy when bills ain't getting paid? When you can't go to the grocery store and buy nothing to eat. I don't know who the hell is dancing around being happy when that's going on. We got to get to telling truth. If we stay with these, because understand what is happening. Kids are being raised in these environments with these lies being told that money don't bring happiness. If it can't bring happiness, how the hell do it bring so much chaos and doubt? I say it again. If it can't bring happiness, how in the hell do it bring so much chaos and doubt? We better wake up. And ADOS is that wake up call. Follow hit that like button. Hit that share button. I want my people to understand. ADOS is here to say, get in this fight. Become politically educated. And understand when I say politically educated. Being politically educated ain't sitting around just listening to CNN News and Fox News. It's being able to dissect the bullshit they giving you. I said again, being politically educated is not sitting around listening to Fox News, CNN News. Is being able to dissect the bullshit they feeding you. If you don't understand that, you're not politically educated. And graduating college ain't gonna do it. You're gonna have to dedicate your time to truth. You're gonna have to start to understand when you see a snake. So that's what ADOS is here for. And we're going to continue to fight this fight. Hell, let me feed my family. You see? This is what we're fighting for, and this is things we want to do. We must come as one and fight as that fist, as those sticks are together. That's how we become stronger. Money means resources. And the current state of ADOS in this country is a result of being deprived of resources. Period. We are deprived of our resources. So the fight we are fighting for is reparations in our black agenda. And you can go check that out at ADOSadvocacyfoundation.org. ADOSAF.org. We are definitely moving in line, and we understand that we are catching the heat. It's a reason those that's fighting the right way catch all the heat, and those that's fighting the wrong way catch no heat. You see? If you understand that, you should know we fighting the right way. We want people to join us in this fight. We want to build chapters, and we want to give America hell to get what we are owed. And that's what we are fighting for. I appreciate everybody that joined tonight, all the family that came in, dropped some lines and some good in the chat. We gonna be here. We'll be here next week. And no, become politically educated. We need soldiers in this fight for critical thinking skills. And when we can do that, we will win. If you haven't yet, check out some of the previous episodes. Yeah, definitely do that. This is the link to the ADOS Advocacy Foundation. Check them out. We got people there working hard to get things together. Cause believe me, I don't care what nobody tell you. I don't care what group tell you. You must be organized in this fight. Bottom line, we got people out there working all week long to put stuff together while working jobs. So, hey, don't think you the only one. And I get tired of hearing people talking about what they don't got time for. All this stuff here you see when you go to this website, our website. These are people got jobs too, got kids too, got nieces and nephews too. We all got the same thing. What's wrong with you, Negro? You think this is what I'm doing all week long? No, I'm working 10 and 12-hour shifts all week long. I'm dealing with my kids all week long. My little man was just at the door beating on it. You make time for things that is important to you. When you sat down all day today and looked at football, you made time for it. See, you could have made time to do some shit that was beneficial, but you chose to do something that absolutely changes nothing. Well, I chose to do something that would change something, whether it was to wake up one person to become politically educated. I accomplished my goal today then. You see? I accomplished my goal today. And I know that's the same thing for all my brothers and sisters in this fight with ADOS. We trying to accomplish something to make a difference in our household. And who scored a touchdown ain't gonna do it. So, family, I appreciate everybody that joined. I love you all. Remember, as always, stay strong, stay focused, and continue to move the line forward for ADOS.